Hello and good evening, and welcome to Dating Discussions with Ronnie and Yasheka. And you're now listening to the Man Talk Mondays segment of the program and platform. Today, we're going to cover men in online dating. And I'm covering this, and I'm going to let you know up front, full disclosure, that I don't have an online dating profile, nor have I ever done any online dating. However, it's something that I've always asked about. And for many years, I have many men and women share their personal stories of their online dating experience. And some of them I've coached, and proud to say to great success. However, there are those who still continue to have challenges. So while I am going to speak on some parts to the women, I really want to focus to the men, because if there's one thing that I do know is that there are a lot of people that are dating online, and for many reasons. See, I remember when this was first announced, of this future of dating and it being online, and was really sold as a form of a convenience. You know, you just sit in the comfort of your living room and you swipe left, swipe right, or whatever the process is for the given platform. So whether it's Christian Mingle, whether it's Tinder, whether it's Bumble, whether it's eHarmony, they all have their ways in which you get to choose. Now, based on who you listen to, you will get, you hear things where there are more women online than men, more men online than women. And based on, of course, what part of the country you tune into, you'll hear there are more women who's having challenges on the online dating platform. You'll also hear it where there are more men. However, I decided to finally just come out and speak on this because I really, gentlemen, if there's anything, if you follow me at any sense of time, you know that I'm all about relationships leading to marriage. Why? If for anything, is because I do believe in marriage. I believe that marriage works. I believe there's a purpose for marriage. And I do believe that there, and have witnessed many incredible marriages throughout my life. Now, there are those whose experience with marriage hasn't been the best, and I get that. But that also doesn't mean that marriage is not for you. Now, I've also coached enough people and listened to enough people and read about enough people where some of them who've been married multiple times will tell you, Ron, you know, my first choice, when I first got married, I really didn't know what I was doing. You know, I was young and naive. And so you went in there with your, it was like the blind leading the blind. And then you realize that it's unlike the fairy tales that they show you on TV and in the love songs. And that it took work. And also find out that, hell, if you didn't put the work in on yourself, marriage wasn't going to fix that. Then there are those who've been married a second time and they knew a little bit more. However, they realized there was still some work to be done. And they sometimes pick the same type of person, even though it is a different person. With all that being said, I do believe in marriage. I do believe in a healthy marriage. I do believe in a long lasting marriage. I believe that as challenging as the times are today, that marriage can still work. And so when I talk about online dating, I'm speaking from a space where men, if you're out there online dating, that is your purpose. Now, also, we all know that there are apps out there that are not made for dating leading to marriage. Nothing such as hookups. Now, to the credit of the creator of these apps, maybe that wasn't the intention. However, the way it was marketed, it would lead one to believe that that is what it's about. It's all the hookup culture and, casual sex and things of that nature. If that is what you are wanting, then do you. However, what sometimes tends to happen, more often than not, women are meeting men who are not there for the intentions of a long-term relationship, marriage. And this is where the frustration comes in. Now, we can debate whether or not they've effectively communicated that or not. However, to the gentleman, this is not a beat up session. I'm just trying to share with you that I get it. On the man's end, it can be just as challenging. And for the ladies that are tuning in, let me tell you, if you think women have stories, I can share many stories of men. Hell, I can share my own personal stories, and it had nothing to do with online dating. But for those who have experienced online dating, they've run into some real crazy situations. So remember, if you hear anything that I'm sharing with you on this program, please know that the intention is to be intentional, to go in there with the purpose of getting to know each other. And remember, none of this replaces the work that you have to put in yourself. First and foremost, making sure that you are really in a space where you're looking to meet someone for the long haul. So don't think that because you, I don't know, you just have people who really, with huge insecurities, go in there. There are people still with some issues they haven't addressed, go there. Some people who have huge egos because they love the space of just being able to swipe left, swipe right. Look, I believe it plays a space. Whether I'm for or against it is irrelevant. However, gentlemen, if that is the platform that you feel is for you, please accept that rejection is rejection, whether it's online or offline. Now, I'd like to think because you're online, it increases your chances of meeting someone. And for some of you, it has. For some of you, it hasn't. However, make sure, like anything else, you take the time to do the work on yourself. You know what you're looking for. So that, because of course, we're the ones. Now, there are platforms where the women do the reaching out to the men. Beautiful. Okay. But that doesn't mean just because she's reached out to you that you need to jump on the first thing that moves. Know who you are, know your worth, and know what you're looking for and a potential lifetime partner. And stick to that. So if she doesn't meet your needs, swipe left, swipe right, whatever it means. There's no time for you to waste your time. And I hope this is something that in 2022, you're taking a lot more serious now. So also, to the men that are having a profile, looking to build a profile, let me help you out with something that I thought would be simple, but the women, if gentlemen, put in the work. Put in the work to create a very complete, thorough, intentional profile that gives the women that are looking at you something to think about other than just an income, your muscles, how long your tongue is, your beard, how great your hairline is, all the aesthetics. Yes, women are visual as well. And any woman who tells you that is lying to you. But I get it. You've got some incredible pictures. You look great for your age, whether you're 30, 40, 50, or 60. However, please know that the right woman really wants to get to know you. And although the profile is not going to give everything to her, because of course, you're going to have conversations if and so she reaches out to you or you reach out to her, at the very least, give her the notice that you've put time and effort, thought, consideration into your profile so that this way, when she looks at it, because again, she's going to say, hey, whatever her requirements are aesthetically, and she chooses to look at your profile, she can tell. I can promise you, from all the women that have called me, emailed me, DM'd me about this situation on online dating, you will beat, seems to be 90+% of the men that are online with a profile by just taking the time and really putting in some work to your profile. Matter of fact, let me give you what I believe. Again, you don't have to. A little hack for you gentlemen who have a female friend. Ask her to write your profile or help you with your profile. Why not? You're trying to attract women. Why not talk to a woman? A woman whose opinion you respect and know she's not going to give you the BS, not going to be biased. She's going to say, you know what? This is what I think the type of man that you are. And since you're looking for this type of woman, this is how I would write it. Now, you don't have to put everything that she puts with that, but I truly believe that, again, with the work, the proper wording, correct grammar, grammatically correct. I should, again, something I shouldn't have to say, but needs to be said. Trust me when I tell you this, that she will give you a consideration as opposed to even a man she thinks from the picture that may look somewhat better than you, but she sees something that for someone who's put the effort in who they are and putting themselves out there, that you will then put the effort into dating her. Make that known. Trust me. Listen to me, gentlemen. This is not something I'm just pulling out of thin air. This is something that women are sharing with me. So much of what I share with the men in the different spaces that I'm in, I get from women. And since I want you to have a success rate, I can't tell you how many times women just give you the cheat code. And sometimes we as men, we let our egos get in the way because we're hard-headed and we're determined to do things our own way. And you know what? If you're in your 20s and then maybe you have time. But in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, no. Stop fooling yourself. Learn a few lessons. Accept the fact that you may not know it all. And knowing that we're not promised tomorrow. And if we are here tomorrow, then we're not promised the day after that. So in this online dating space, don't waste your time. Don't waste her time. So yes, I could give you 10 different things to do on your online dating profile, but I'm just really just going off the top of my head and some things that I've shared. And I really wanted to make this, didn't have to be as structured because I truly believe that the men tuning in get the gist of what I'm trying to say. It takes work. And listen, gentlemen, let's face it. If you are the man that listened to me, you know that you are paying on the date, not 50-50, 100% of the date. You've got your questions together, as I'm sure she has, and you're going to make sure she asks her question, that you are prepared to answer those questions. But here's the thing about, again, a nice, full, robust profile. You see, what this does, it will answer questions that A, she was going to ask you, or B, she didn't think to ask you. That even in her mind, she says, well, damn, you know what? That is important to know. I never thought to ask this, which may have be the reason why her last relationship blew up. You don't know. Again, you were not there to have your time wasted. She's not online to have her time wasted. But since you're the one who's going to be the one asking for the phone number and asking for the date, give her a reason to feel safe. Give her a reason to feel that she has enough to go on, that with the conversation, you can get the date. And then from there, another date. Now, mind you, with all of that being said, make sure, gentlemen, this is who you are. And how does she know this? She's going to know this by your actions. Again, we all know the saying, action speaks louder than words. So, gentlemen, take the time to your profile. You see, I'm repeating the same thing because I want you to hear it over and over and over. Work on your profile. Work on your profile. Put time in your profile. Be clear, concise, intentional. Let her know up front that this is your intention. This is what you're on here for. So she knows you're not on here to waste her time, and she damn near better not be trying to waste your time. You're a man on a mission. And make sure, gentlemen, that when you hit that button to upload all of this, that you are a man of intention. Now, gentlemen, here's another big issue that I see and hear so often with the women. Gentlemen, if you're going to ask her on a date, show up at the date. Show up. If for some reason something comes up, because things do come up, make sure you respect her enough and have enough respect for yourself because of your character that you're going to reach out to her and let her know you can make it. And it's as sufficient of time as possible. Give her a call, not a text. Yes, we're in the book. No, pick up the phone and call. Now, are there some extenuating circumstances that may lend itself so that the only way you can do this is texting? Yes, I get it. However, in a lot of cases, gentlemen, you can pick up the phone. I truly believe it's the manly thing to do, the respectful thing to do. However, far too many women, you see it on all platforms. Women are in tears by being stood up by a man. Men are ghosting. And then there are platforms of men trying to give some word salad reason as to why men do that. Listen, man, I just have a big problem with this whole ghosting thing. I really do. It says so much about you. That if you're going to make a date, show up and not reach out to her 3-4 weeks later. Now, here's what can tend to happen. And this is what I've also heard. You arrange a date and it's going to happen another week or maybe at the end of the week. And in between that, you meet somebody or someone reaches out to you that seems to be what you may deem as a better catch. Now, again, this is Ronnie's way. You can do whatever you choose. If, in fact, that was me, I'm still going to stick to the date. Unless you want to reach out to this person and let them know or cancel the date, that is your choice as well. It's totally your choice. I just think that if you've set the time, you've had the conversation, time is invested, see it through. If the other one is there still, fine. I mean, you're on a date. You'd be silly to believe that she's not looking at other options. She has a not that she has to know that you have a date coming up. No, she doesn't have to know that. You just set the date for a later time. Or if you can fit it in earlier, do that. All that I'm saying is that don't ghost women, gentlemen. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I truly believe that stuff come back to you. So that same thing you do to that woman is going to come back to you. And I can assure you, you're not going to like it. Does it happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. The men call me cursing like a sailor. I'm like, well, maybe this thing happened. And again, I'm repeating the reason he gave for ghosting this other woman. And then he sees it. I'm just a man that's just big on that. If you make time and you promise to be with someone, then you follow through with it, unless there is some extenuating circumstance that lends itself for you not to follow through. And that doesn't mean you can't reschedule. Of course you can, if she wants you to. I'm just big on that, especially as a man. And again, listen, gentlemen, we all know whether you have a ton of money or little money, dating costs. So take your time, vet properly, make sure you have your questions. If you have questions about what you should have asking on a date, reach out to me on RonnieandYasheka at gmail.com and let me help you through this process. Let me work with you, book a consult. With that being the case, I could put together a program for you to follow so that you can get prepared for your online dating profile. I used to do that for a couple of friends and for a few clients. I put some things together, and again, to great success, and to women. I've done it for women as well. Listen, here's what happens. When you have a situation where you have tens of thousands of women to choose from, studies will show, especially more so on the women's side, that the more selections you have, the more confusing it is. So while there are pros to dating online, there are cons as well, or areas that are concern. And so these are the things that men and women have to contend with. Now, does that mean men don't get ghosted? Of course, men get ghosted. And should they reach back out at whatever time, you can make a decision whether or not you want to believe her or not. Either way, keep moving forward. Don't take it personal. That should, at least to me, would say a lot about her. But I'm speaking to the men. Follow through on your commitment to the woman, making sure that your profile is what is something worth reading and worth following through on. Also, gentlemen, once you put yourself together, pictures are good, and I think should have a nice range of pictures. And here's something that I do know. Women say, show some flexibility in the wardrobe. Now, women are tired of the shirtless selfies. If you really are about intentional and commitment and long term, listen, gentlemen, at some point or another, she's going to see you shirtless. It doesn't have to be on your dating profile. But again, you do what you feel you want to do. Remember, the energy that you put out there, you cannot be surprised if the energy that you receive back. So if you're going to be one of those who's showing flashy cars and you got the nice car and you got money and you want, then don't be surprised at the type of women that you attract. I see men complain about this all the time. And let me make it clear, money is important in a long term relationship. And we're talking about the provider role financially. So don't with this blanket assumption that all women are gold diggers is just, it's to me, it's just stupid. But make no mistake about it, based on how you present yourself, especially when you lead with finance, I can assure you, you are going to attract those women you call gold diggers, which means when the money's gone, they're gone. Don't complain. There's so many other, I'm sure, great attributes that you could list on your profile that let a woman knows that you're handling yourself, you're fiscally responsible, a good steward of your money. And that is something, of course, as time goes on, as the relationship gets deeper, you're going to have those conversations. But let's be real clear about the impression we put out there from an image perspective. If you take care of your body, sure, there's nothing wrong with making that known. If there is a woman that you prefer, if you prefer a woman who takes care of her body, let that be known too. Again, you don't want to be vague. You want every woman is not going to be for you. I know, I get it. There's a lot of incredible women online, but that doesn't mean that incredible woman is aligned with you and your direction. And you will help yourself make your journey easier and make it easier for her by being very clear on your profile and your description of yourself, where you're going, what your vision looks like with a future wife. Talk about where you've come from. Again, these are things women are looking for. They really want to be stimulated mentally, as well as put in a space where they can see how good you look in a suit. These women may be women that like to go to they want to go to a cocktail party, museum, corporate function. We all know that if they're corporate women, networking functions. Great. You look good in gray sweatpants. How do you look in a suit? Do you have a suit? If you don't, invest in a suit. Or how about a nice sport coat or jacket, a nice shirt, a pair of jeans, nice pair of shoes? Is every pair of shoes you have, is everything you're wearing is sneakers? And you're in your 30s and older? Now, maybe that's the type of woman you'll want to attract. Okay, if that's the case, so be it. I just believe that women embrace men. And again, this is what they share with me, who are versatile in their wardrobe and their style of dress, because it shows flexibility that you can go anywhere and look like you belong there. There may be funerals, weddings to attend, birthday parties. She may be of a certain circle of people that may lend itself to a certain type of wardrobe. So be prepared for that. And make sure when you go to the date, if you're planning this, make sure that you're dressed appropriately. There are women who have big challenges with men showing up looking like you said we're going where and you're dressed like this. So gentlemen, make again the effort that you're putting in your profile, make sure that you don't put in all this work, have these incredible conversations, and now you're going out on a date and you're looking like a bum, or at the very least looking like where you're going, you're not appropriately dressed. So put some effort in that. Again, she's looking at your actions after reading your words and hearing your words. Men, I want you to win in this space. And I want you to believe, first and foremost, that there are some incredible women out there. I know there are some challenges for men as well. Trust me, man, I get it. Ronnie gets it. I know you have many disaster stories. I've heard my share of them. I've experienced my share of them even without online dating. So this is not a beat up session. However, there are a percentage of men that are really not receiving the success that they hoped for with the online dating. And so if you're not going to book a consult, at the very least, listen to this more than once and really take this as free game. And you would think it's common sense, but I can assure you, as we've always said, that common sense is not that common anymore. And it starts with being intentional in your profile, the effort in your profile. Let her know that you're serious about meeting someone worthy of you. You know your worth. She's going to know you know your worth by reading your profile and then subsequent conversations that you will have because she's going to reach out to you. So, gentlemen, listen, you know I can go on and on. I mean, you look at some what I think what's the last study I think done in August of last year. The number one or the most successful dating app has been eHarmony. And that I think it's because you can't also the process when you listen to people who were part of that, the forms that you have to fill out is incredible. It's a long process, they say, but because of the effort that they put in getting to know you, and they can then line you up with the person that you say you're looking for, hence will lend itself to the success rate. I think they have something like 15 million people subscribed to that app. However, it's funny, the hookup or the one that they consider the hookup app, I think it's Tinder, has something like 30 or 80 million people. So I'm like, wait a minute, are more people concerned about the instant hookup than intentional dating? Possibly. Excuse me here. So, with that being the case, gentlemen, the world is your oyster. The word is yours. So hold on one second. I have something in my eye. And I don't want you to see me rubbing my eye while I'm sitting here doing this. I don't know what happened here. But anyhow, gentlemen, I truly believe, and I'll say it again, that there are some incredible women out there. And you may be missing many of them because you really haven't put the effort as you need to in your dating profile if you're online dating. Again, if you have some challenges, book a consult. And I'd be more than happy to work with you to get your profile up to speed, to give you the best success and someone reaching out to you or you reaching out to them and they're saying, you know what, this is someone I want to get to know further. So thank you for the time and support. Share this with some men that you feel can benefit from this that may not have the success rate as they'd hoped in online dating. And I thank you. Again, this is Dating Discussions with Yasheka and with Ronnie and Yasheka. Man Talk Mondays. Thank you. You can reach me at RonnieandYasheka@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and you can go to datingdiscussions.com. And from there, you can book a session with me or Yasheka with a little background information that will give you more than enough information to need to make a decision on which direction you want to go, or book a session with us both. So again, I look forward to speaking to you again next Monday. Gentlemen, much success to you as you go out there in this world of online dating. Again, my name is Ronnie Walker, Master Coach of Exceptional Dating, Relationships, and Sex. Have a good evening. See you next week.